So this is an Algebra 1A Intro to integers. Remember, integers are whole numbers, so that would be 0, 1, 2, 3, etc. So all of those counting numbers going up. And their opposites. So that would mean -1, -2, etc. that way. You can see on the number line that the numbers to the right of the 0 here are positive, and the numbers to the left of the 0 are negative. Now, the reason that integers are so important is because we learn how to deal with the operations, so adding, subtracting, multiplying, dividing, so that we can apply it to other types of numbers later. Now, those other types of numbers are the numbers that live in between. So if you look at that number line, this would be 1, this would be 2, this would be 3, etc., 4, and then 5. All of those are integers. It's the stuff in between here. There's an infinite number of numbers between 0 and 1. And these guys are rational and irrational. So the numbers in between, these are rational, which are fractions basically, and they're irrational. And those are square roots that you can't simplify. So what we're going to talk about first are just the integers. The +1, +2, +3, -1, -2, -3, etc. So that we can apply what we do when we're adding integers. What happens if we're adding a positive to a negative? And once we learn how to do that, we can apply those rules to all of the different kinds of numbers. We're going to take a closer look at number lines for a minute. We've already looked at the horizontal number line. So this is a horizontal number line. Horizontal means left and right. This is horizontal. And oops, that doesn't look very good. That's horizontal, and up and down is vertical. So positive numbers are to the right of the 0, negative numbers are to the left of the 0. But if we look at a vertical number line, like this, again we can see that positive numbers are going up. So these guys going up are positive. And this may be a little bit more intuitive than the horizontal number line, because you can think of it like the ground or a hill. If you're going uphill, so you're above ground, the more you have or the farther you go, the higher you are. Down here under the water are my negatives. So negatives are underwater, positives are above ground. And we'll look at this a little bit closer when we're doing adding and subtracting. But just know that up is positive, down is negative. The other thing we want to look at in an intro to integers are all of the operations. So if we start, we're not even going to talk about how to add or subtract or multiply or anything like that yet. But if we just look at the operations, so say 2 plus -3, we want to separate the sign of the number. So either the positive or the negative sign from the operation. And by operation, what I mean is add, subtract, multiply, or divide. So in this example, you can see that this is a positive 2. If there's no sign in front of it, we assume that it's positive. This means that we are going to add. That's our operation. And the number following it, including any sign, is what we're going to add. So in this case, the negative goes with the 3. Now, it's pretty typical that the positive or negative sign immediately precedes or goes before the number. Let's look at a couple more examples like that. Let's say we have -5 times, which can be an X, can be a dot, can be parentheses, a 4. So again, the negative is preceding the 5. That makes this a -5. This is our operation. This means we're going to multiply. The number that comes after is a 4, no positive or negative, which means that that is a positive 4. Again, we don't care about the operation right now. We just want to be able to separate and understand the positives and negatives. So one more example like that. Let's do a 3 minus 4. So this means positive 3. Minus or subtract. There's no sign with this 4 because we're done with these guys now. The only thing we're left with is the 4. So that's a positive 4. Again, we'll look at how to do the actual operation in a later video. Just make sure that you are separating the sign from the operation. And that's about it for our intro. Check out the next videos for adding integers.